morning guys, my name is Akshay. Welcome to my YouTube channel Axe Cars. Today is a very special day as I'm going to review this car next to my very close friend Vishal Sharma. Now you're probably wondering what car I'm actually going to review. Well, it is the BMW 5 Series, the successful 520D. Now this car here is actually a 2017 BMW that is BS4 enabled. Now you're probably wondering why on earth am I reviewing a car that's 3 years old in the Indian automobile industry? Well, there's a reason. And that is that as of April 2020, car manufacturers all over India were actually restricted from selling BS4 enabled engines and were ordered to produce much more refiner engines for a refiner fuel so as to reduce CO2 emissions in the environment. Hence the BS6 compliance. This Government of India regulation turned out to be quite a havoc for the Indian automobile industry. Well, for one, the industry was already running into losses. Number two, the entire country was to go in a complete lockdown period. Number three, the industry was about to lose 1 lakh crore rupees as losses in this 45-day lockdown period. Number four, that since the BS6 compliance was already into play, companies had to invest more into research and development in manufacturing better refiner engines. Point number five, BS6 actually restricted car manufacturers from selling any car that was BS4 enabled, which meant that all existing stock was going down the drain. This only meant that car prices in India were about to increase, and to prevent this from happening, car manufacturers had to indulge in cost-cutting activities. This meant either jeopardizing safety of customers or neglect them from any upcoming feature or performance. Fortunately, many automobile manufacturers such as Mercedes and BMW were manufacturing BS6 efficient engines much before the April 2020 deadline. As far as the petrol variants were concerned, both Mercedes and BMW were manufacturing BS6 compliant engines as early as 2018. For the diesel engines, they definitely needed a new BS6 compliant engine, which meant that they had to produce one much before the 2020 deadline. For Mercedes, they launched the new BS6 compliant E220D as early as the last quarter of 2019. For BMW, they launched the new BS6 compliant 520D as early as February 2020. Both of these car manufacturers reintroduced new diesel variants in the market, now BS6 compliant. Instead of depreciating features and recovering cost, they actually increased new features so as to attract more and more customers. As for Mercedes, they introduced a whole new model, that is the E220D exclusive, that came with a ton of new features, such as a new 12.3-inch digital driver's instrument cluster, which is a big upgrade from the BS4 compatible E220D, which instead of the screen used analog dials. It also comes with cool features such as navigation and Mercedes Connect. The exclusive also comes with the Burmester audio system that was previously found in the top spec E350D. It also comes with a tablet in the rear that lets you control air conditioning, ambient lighting, and the center infotainment system with wireless phone charging, and soft close doors feature for all 4 doors. As for BMW, they only upgraded their iDrive system. This car, the BS4 compliant 520D, actually has an iDrive 6 system, whereas the new BS6 compliant 520D has an iDrive 7 system. Now you're probably wondering what is the difference between the iDrive 6 and the iDrive 7. In layman terms, the only difference between the iDrive 6 and the iDrive 7 is that when you're using navigation simultaneously driving the car, the navigation, instead of appearing right here on the side infotainment system, will actually appear here in the driver's instrument, basically where you have the speedometer. Other than that, there is no difference between both of these cars. Now if you're planning to buy the new 5 Series, especially the 520D, in my opinion, you should start looking for one in the second-hand market. Well, for one, the BS4 520D has spent 2 extra years in the Indian market and can be available easily for cheap prices. Also, one new feature on the BS6 520D does not justify lakhs and lakhs of your hard-earned money that you might end up spending buying the new BS6 520D. Now, if like me, you have doubts buying a car from the second-hand market, well, be rest assured. because instead of buying a BMW from any authorized dealer outside, you can actually buy one directly from BMW itself. Also, if you do get to buy one from any authorized dealer outside, you can get that BMW thoroughly checked from any nearby BMW service station or showroom for costs as low as 10,000 rupees. As of last night, when I was searching the internet for a second-hand 2017 BMW 5 Series, in specific the 520D, I came across this BS4 520D on the Car Dekho website, being offered for as low as 37 lakh rupees with as less as 15,000 kilometers on the odometer. The pictures definitely proved that the BMW offered for sale was the new restyled 2017 BMW 520D. Now, in my opinion, any automatic BMW for as low as 15,000 kilometers definitely amounts to a solid deal to any prospective buyer looking to buy the 2017 5 Series. Now, I have one more interesting news for you, and that is that as of May 2020, BMW unveiled the new India spec 2021 BMW 5 Series. Now, like the current generation 5 Series is going to share the same chassis structure, but there are going to be a ton of new features, such as a new set of headlamps which are definitely much more aggressive looking than the current generation 5 Series. The most prominent feature on these new set of headlamps would definitely be the dual L-shaped DRL strips running across each set of headlamps, making the front end on the new BMW much more sharper looking. Number 2 could be the new grille, which in my opinion is inspired less from elder brother 7 Series and more from younger brother 3 Series, which is a sight of relief. Number 3 could be the new set of redesigned front bumpers, which definitely looks much more cooler than the current generation 5 Series. On the rear end could be a new set of smoked tail lamps, which definitely look much more attractive than before. Now, this new design of tail lamps can be subjective because as good as they might look at night with all the lights on, they could look questionable during the day since not many are a fan of smoked tail lamps. But this, I guess, is not a problem with BMW alone because many car manufacturers are shifting towards smoked tail lamps. Also new at the rear could be the redesigned rear bumper and the exhaust tips. Inside, the 2021 BMW is relatively going to remain the same, except that instead of a standard 10.2-inch infotainment system, customers will also have the option to opt for a 12.3-inch infotainment system, which would be a cool optional feature on the 2021 5 Series. Also new could be the redesigned driver's digital cluster. This does not mean that the current generation 5 Series will become any less exciting or for that matter obsolete. We at Axe Cars believe that this current generation 5 Series is going to be quite a hot selling product in the second-hand market. With this, we end today's review. Now, if you like our content, please like and subscribe to the channel and also hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we make a new upload. Until then, bye-bye.